Hello, welcome back. If you're enjoying these things that I'm putting on YouTube with me making things and other stuff. So I'm packaging bath bombs today, so I've got to seal and shrink wrap them first, and then I have other stuff to do for the labeling and everything. So I'm going to show you a little bit of me sealing and shrinking them, and then I'll show you the other stuff, and it's steps involved. So let's see, this big box of shrink wrap square bags that fit a lot of the shapes. So that's what I'll probably use for the shape ones. And these are good for my bowl scoops too. I can get 4, I can seal 4 of them on this. And then I have these ones for the round bath bombs. They're just a little bit easier. All right, so let's start with that one. We'll start with the round one. This is the lavender. It smells really good. The bibliotherapy one. And there's really no special thing to do. And then this has heat setting on the side, the sealer. I just got this on Amazon. But anyway, you just want to get close as you can to the bath bomb. Hold it down, the light comes on, and then when the light goes off, it's done. You can let go. And sometimes if you leave it on after the light, a little bit after the light, it'll chop the edge off too. So it's gonna have like these edges, so if you were really bothered by it, you could seal it, which I've been known to do. See, that one came off. And then this corner. And then this way, when you're shrinking, you don't have that much, and so you won't have as many like spots. There's my round wrapped up. And then here's just my heat gun. I think some people say they use blow dryer. I don't. I always have heat gun because I'm stamper. But you want to hold it a little bit back, because you can, if you heat this too much, it'll tear. It'll like rip shrink so much that it rips a hole. But you want it to be nice and smooth. As smooth as it can be. So I don't love shrink wrapping, but it keeps them protected the best, especially for shipping. And once your gun gets heated up, usually I'll seal a bunch and then shrink a bunch. So that's that one. Since this is a little big. So it's better to get bags that are a little too big, unless you have that national shrink wrap thing. And then you can do whatever size you need. But I find this size, I think it's 6x6, fits most of my shapes. So hopefully the dragon's egg, I might try it in one of the rounds. I'm gonna shrink this one. I like to do the sides first, and if you get like edges, just beat them a little bit and then use your finger. And try not to, be careful they're not too tight in certain spots, because it will break, it will pop like little holes. And you'll be able to tell when it's good. There's our seal it up. Stepping on the cord. Like I said, I like doing the sides first. Push down any edges, and then you can do the front and back. After, you know, they're just drying on your tray or whatever, to spritz them with the alcohol, and that helps with the dustiness. It's not all terrible or anything. It's not really a big deal. But I might try it next time I make bath bombs, which hopefully maybe be tomorrow. I wanted to get some packaged before I made more. And I placed terribly. I'm terrible. I placed a big order for 3D bath bomb molds on Etsy through another company, not Cata. It's I think it's Inedible Soaps. I think it's called Inedible Soaps, I think, on Etsy. They're nice, you know, they're easy to, they're nice, they're very secure. My bath bombs, like, very rarely break. I've dropped them on the floor, and it's fine, so. All right, so next, let me just finish this disaster while I have everything out, finish sealing and shrinking them, and I'll come back and show you the rest of the packaging, or part of it, making the tags or the packaging. See you in a bit. So I finished shrinking and all that, all the bath bombs, and now I have these bubble scoops that are probably ready to be packaged. That they get nice and hard. So I'm not gonna necessarily shrink wrap each one individually always. I'm doing them in packages of 4, and they, you know, they'll be packaged cute, but so you'll have 4 baths because you only really need 1, and depending on how many bubbles you want. But I am doing shrink wrapping a few because I'm gonna do some sampler bubble scoops with some other scents and stuff too. Do like a sampler of different scents to try out at some point when I have enough accumulated. But I thought I'd show you how I do the bubbles, how I shrink wrap the bubble scoops. I still use these same, I think they're 6x6 squares, and then I just put my scoops in. I'll put the 2 on the bottom, and then seal it. And then I'll put 2 more. I think I need to change the little strip on my sealer. And I'll just seal down the middle. And then just shrink these little guys. So that's the scoops shrink wrapped. But I have to save some to go with a bath bomb I'm going to make. And then the others I may not shrink. I might just put in the packages of 4. We'll see. Let me think more about it. I don't know if I should individually shrink wrap them. The shrink wrap is a pain to get off, and I don't want the scoop to fall apart if you're trying to get it out. All these, yeah. Anyway, all right. So let me finish up with these, and I'll be right back. So this part is going to be a voiceover because it was noisy, but I printed out a bunch of my tags for my bath bombs that I'm going to be making or that I already have made. On craft cardstock, I use the Avery to do 2x4 labels, but then I just printed them on the craft cardstock, not label sheets. And then I just use a ruler to cut them into 3.5 by 2. Just making a few marks, and then I use my paper trimmer to trim where the marks are. And this is so that they'll be the right size for the tag punch and the size that I want for my bath bombs, so I can put the scent and the ingredients on the back. And then this punch I got on Amazon. I'll link it. And you can do tags 1.5, 2.5, and 2 inches wide. So these are going to be 2 inches. And then there's like guides, and you just slide it in until it stops. And keep it kind of straight. It looks like it's going slow, but it goes pretty fast once you're doing a bunch. And then you just punch it down, and it makes a cute little tag. And I did buy some craft tags. Originally, I was going to print stuff on clear sticker paper, clear sticker labels, whatever, and stick it on the tags. But then I saw this punch, and I thought, well, I can just print right on the craft cardstock, and punch it into tags. But I wanted to have tags so that we know what trope everything is for and everything. And also it's nice to put the ingredients and the scent on. And you can save it if you want after you use your bath stuff. So now I'm just doing the final packaging, and that's some of my ribbon that I've got specifically for this. I have like a ton more ribbon, but anything to support my ribbon addiction I'm fine with, so I'll probably be getting more. And these are all the bath bombs that I've made. Well, most of them shrink wrapped, that are all protected, and I have a bunch of different size cello bags, some self-sealing and some open top, and I'm just picking which ones fit the best. So my thought was to use the sealing ones mostly, different sizes, and do what I'm doing here. We're just put the bath bomb in, fold down the bag and seal it, and then make sure it gets edge to edge, and then punch a hole in one of the corners and tie the tag on with ribbon. That was my idea. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to figure out what ribbon to use, which I used white here, but I ended up changing it to pink because that's what I do. And then I have one hole punch here that's kind of small. I don't know if it's like 1/8. And I used it on this one and it worked, but then I realized it was a little bit small, so I got my bigger one. But Just feed the ribbon through the hole, and then put your tag on. I have to find a good way to organize these tags. Put the tag on, tie it in a nice double knot. You don't even need a bow because this ribbon is so pretty. I just double knot it, and you could easily take it off if you want to. And that's pretty much, and just trim the edges a little bit. But you want to use sharp scissors because this ribbon is very delicate. And there's my cowboy romance. And now we're going to do baby foot. We're going to use a different size bag. And same thing, you just want to make sure you put it in the right way, like the front goes where, and you make sure the flap is going to fold up on the back. So just pay attention to which way you put it in. And slide it down, seal her up. And make sure you get edge to edge. And there's my baby foot. And this is where I realized my punch was too small. So I went and got my bigger punch, which is just like mostly your standard size. And then I also realized that punching the bag was making it tear. So I decided to put a little piece of tape down where I was going to punch. And then punch the hole. And tie the ribbon and the tag on. I don't know if you can see. You probably can't see it, but I just put a little tiny piece of tape to reinforce the plastic when I punch the hole so it doesn't tear when I tie the ribbon on. And here's one of my bibliotherapy round ones. And I thought these ones worked well in the cello bags with the open tops. So I find the tag. And I went with some lavender ribbon on this one. So string it through. And then on these ones, you don't have to seal them. You just tie the top. You could use some clear little mini rubber bands to close it up a little. I might do that in the future just to help make it easier to tie. We'll see. But they're shrink wrapped, so they're already safe. This is just for packaging and, other purposes and decorative purposes. So there's my bibliotherapy, and then there's my dragon's egg. And I did this one also in the open top cello bag. And my tag. And on this one I used some black satin ribbon. And tie in a nice knot and trim the edges. And I like these dragon's eggs. And there's all of them done. I even packaged up the cinnamon roll scoops.